Hello, and welcome back to the Garden of Grace devotion. My name is Pastor Katie, and today I have with me a special guest, Miss Sarah Parson. Today we have a special topic, and that's why Sarah is here with us. Our topic is around caring for creation. Last week we had this whole kind of week about caring for creation. On Wednesday, I had the children's chapel with our preschoolers. And I got to talk about the parable of the mustard seed and how little things, sometimes even the smallest act of faith, can make an incredibly big difference because of the way that God works in the world. I sang a song with the kids about, with faith as small as a mustard seed, you can move mountains. We sang that together and we talked about how little things can make a big difference because God is with us. Then on Sunday, we had our Caring for Creation Sunday. Sarah offered us the sermon on Sunday about what it means to live as a part of God's creation, how we live in community with the world around us, how we are charged with taking care of the earth and the animals, not just using them disposably, but we live in community with them. And what does that look like? So today, Sarah has brought with her this paper that she made for us, and she's going to talk a little bit about that. If you're anything like me, sometimes I look at issues that are larger, that feel really big, and I'm not sure what I can do to make a difference. Sometimes I feel like, what will this little amount do? Will it really matter? And so it can deter me sometimes from doing small things like switching from not using straws, or making sure we recycle, or all kinds of things that Sarah will come up with. But I wanted to just share with you that if you ever feel that way, if you ever feel like, what big difference can this little step make? It can. As a child, I remember making sure, God bless you.
Thank you.
Colin. See, we live in community with creation. As a child, I remember learning to recycle. And I also remember I grew up in South Florida. So whenever we had like the bottles of drinks that had the rings in them, you had to cut them all before you put them in the recycling so that it wouldn't hurt a manatee.
Yeah.
Now, that may seem like a really small thing to me, like it wouldn't make a difference, but to that manatee, it's all the things, right? So, Sarah's going to talk with us about some little things that we can do to make a big impact in the world that we are entrusted to live in.
Yeah, I struggle with the same issue as Pastor Katie all the time. Does it really matter what one person does? But I think that at least making the conscious step to start can make such a difference in your own personal life, of feeling like your life has a positive meaning and impact on the environment. And that's just as important too as leading to environmental change. So I made a nice resource that walks us through the 7 weeks of the Easter season. Now we're already in week 2.
Oh, Sarah, what do we do about week 1?
You can incorporate the week 1 goals throughout some of the other weeks.
Okay.
Like week 1 focused on water.
Okay.
So it included things like taking a shorter shower or learning about the watershed we live in. Do you even know what our watershed is? I don't either.
Regular shed is. It's probably different.
Yes. The watershed is where all of our rainwater flows off into. Where's our main river?
Oh.
I don't know it. That's something I need to Google this week.
Is it the Yellow River?
It might be.
We don't know.
We don't
know. Do any of you know?
Comment below if you know.
Please help us. We need help.
But so little things like actions or research, if that's more your goal, to learn more about the world in which we live. Now in week 2, we have some food goals. So this would be like buying local. And some of our farmers markets are starting up again. And even in our supermarkets, you can see Georgia grown signs over certain produce items. So maybe think about buying those instead of the ones shipped from all around the world instead. Also things like planting a garden, which our little ones did in Sunday school. That's what's behind us. But this could also just be a little container garden of tomatoes or something small. So this is a great resource, and I think we're going to send it out in one of our emails as well. So if you can't come into the church for any reason to pick it up, you can get the email version. And you could just start thinking about some little changes to make. Maybe they only last the 1 week, or maybe they last for the rest of your life and they just become a common practice. But these are some really small things that are easy for people to do that make you feel like I know more about the world in which I live and I'm making a difference in it. And that's really been the goal of what this week has been about, is how can we learn more about our role in our society, in our little place that we call home, and how can we do more?
I would like to hear a little bit more from you about what is helpful about buying local. Like, why is that? Like, genuinely, I'm thinking, because you want to support people all over the world too, but buying local means probably less, like, emissions are involved and all that kind of, is that?
The best part is that there's no shipping or limited shipping.
Okay.
You know, people coming to farmers markets might be from farms, 2 hours away in South Georgia, so not necessarily right immediately in like Gwinnett County, but they're still a lot closer than, say, a farm in California.
Right.
Now, the other benefit of this is you start to learn what foods are in season at different times.
Okay.
When you get food grown in Venezuela, Guatemala, you don't know if that's really in season for you or not. You lose this contact, the rhythm that the natural world has, and you start to think peppers are available year-round, when really peppers are only available during the summer crop. And so how can we start to fall into this natural rhythm with the rest of the world around us, with the rest of creation, instead of having the immediate gratification of, I want a pepper right now. And obviously sometimes you need those foods, and it's okay to buy from somewhere far away if you need it. But to make the conscious effort of thinking, how do we support our local economy? Which economy has the same Greek root as world. So we have that connection. So how can we support our local economy, our Georgia farmers, and how can we support our Georgia soil, our Georgia world?
Which is not easy to dig in, Sarah.
No, not at all.
I will just tell you, this Georgia soil is not easy to dig in. That is helpful to me. It's helpful to me to learn a little bit more about the reasons to support local businesses and farmers. And if you would like to put your hands in the dirt yourselves, know that we have these garden bins here at behind Trinity, and they are for our community schools. 2 of them are in memory of Merle Mullis, who passed away years ago, and her husband Parker Mullis provided these 2 bins in memory of her. And then we have 2 other bins also that are in honor of Pastor Dale that were created after he retired. So we have 4 garden bins behind Trinity, and we use these bins to educate community schools and preschool, and they benefit from the fruits and vegetables. So we need a hand with watering those. If you're interested, reach out to me. And then we have our community garden down the street, where we have 3 bins where we plant vegetables and fruit, mostly vegetables, and then we take them to the co-op. So we have a team that works together to water and to weed and to harvest and to take it to the co-op. Last year was our first year, and we harvested, through God's grace, over 280 pounds of produce. that started in plants and seeds. And then it is wild, right? Talk about how big things can come from small things. It's amazing. So if you would like to participate in that garden ministry, we did our planting last Sunday. So we planted tomatoes and peppers because it's seasonal now, right? For peppers.
Peppers are in season.
And we planted watermelon. We have one bin where we just planted watermelon. We'll let the watermelon just roll in that one bin. But mainly we planted tomatoes and peppers and cucumbers so that we can harvest those for the co-op. If you'd like to be a part of that ministry, let us know. If you have any other ideas about ways that you would like us to take good care of creation through Trinity, let us know. Sarah will be heading up a committee, which you're going to call
a green team.
The Green Team. If you would like to join the Green Team, let me know and I will help you know how to get in touch with Sarah Parson. In the meantime, may we all pay attention to perhaps just little ways, little things that we do where we can make a shift that can make a difference. Each time we don't use a straw, we have some members that help me see that. To convert from using straws to not using straws. It's less plastic that's used. Each time we recycle something, each time we take a moment to pick up a piece of trash that we see, all of that adds up. When you think about how many people are in this body of Christ, we each do a little thing with faith as small as a mustard seed. God can move mountains. May the Lord lead and guide us to do our part as we give thanks to God for creation and seek to live well with what we've been charged to help take care of. Thank you for blessing us with your time today. Take care and God's peace.